How you doing? We got Rashad, Sports Tech West, back at it again, and I'm here for another Hiking IQ episode. I think this is our second one. We going, baby. So why do I call it Hiking IQ? So with us focusing on intelligence, especially for athletes and player performance, I thought of it as a unique way to show intelligence for what the subject matter is that I'm discussing without, any aids, any AI. It's just me, the woods, and y'all, right? Having to go through all of these roots and tree stumps and animals and roots and bugs and avoiding tree limbs, all of that good stuff, to give you the information that you want to need and that is coming from the source, meaning myself as the source. Also, I think God gives us a lot of the information, because sometimes I forget things, or I might forget to mention it, especially since I have so much going on when I'm doing these Hiking IQ episodes, even though I only did only one, right? But here we go. So digital twins. Digital twins, it is a virtual replica, real-time replica of a physical asset, process, or system. And what does that mean exactly, Rashad? What that means is, generally, you don't have to know everything at every moment for a stadium, player, or from a fan engagement perspective. You don't have to know everything in real time. That's what they used to say. But now, with the social media generation, everyone wants information in real time. And I'm going to tell you about the three areas I just discussed: players, fan engagement, and stadiums, and how it's helping each individual one of those. So first, stadiums. So energy and sustainability. Energy, just think about HVAC. AC unit went down. Now you know exactly where it is, where the unit is, and you can send someone to fix it. No problem. It doesn't take weeks. It could actually happen in the same day or hour. I like it to be so efficient in domes or stadiums, to where each individual seat could have some type of AC unit. If it's a hot hot day outside or whatever, it could be temperature controlled, so that you don't have to deal with individuals using too much of your energy. So those are just some of the things I think about with energy and sustainability. Also, you have safety. Now you're able to see exactly what's going on. Let's just think about World Cup next year in the US. You're able to see, oh, this corridor is being blocked. There's too many people. We want to make sure we don't have anybody getting trampled over or any kids getting lost. So let's reroute these individuals to another area. And with that digital twin real-time feedback, you can actually utilize some type of system, whether it be augmented for your environment, to make sure those individuals are going in another direction. Then you have, last but not least, in regards to stadiums, is you have informational content. So that way you're able to make sure in real time that everyone knows what is going on in the stadium. So maybe there's a youth activation going on. Maybe there's a fan that just ran on the field to disrupt the action, and you're getting your food. Whatever it is, you're able to get that information in real time so that you know what's going on within that stadium. So that kind of could be in safety as well, depending. But those are the main things that I see for stadiums. Then we have the fan engagement element. So we heating up. This is a pretty cool one for me. Fan engagement. Just imagine you are a little kid again, and you're going to your first baseball game. And at your first baseball game, you are wanting to see your favorite Shohei Ohtani hit the ball, right? And you want to see him get a home run. Just imagine you could go, maybe it's a little activation area or something, but in real time, you can go up the bat as if you're Shohei Ohtani, right? Or you can see it in third person and see kind of his routine, what he goes through in a digital format, whether it be a hologram, AR, VR, or what I like to call XR, which is extended reality. Speaking of that, I was actually in that arena for 10 plus years. I have been in that arena for 10 plus years, doing different projects and working with different individuals in the space. And I've always thought that this is where things were going, to where it wasn't going to be everyone sitting in the headsets as they tried to make it out to be in some of the science fiction movies. I always thought it was going to be some way to interact with your real environment. And I think with AI and IoT, which AI means artificial intelligence, and IoT is Internet of Things, that, and then also to speak to the other acronyms I use, AR is augmented reality, and then VR is virtual reality. I'll put the terminology with a couple different ways of interpreting each one, just for sake of time, in the description. So with speaking to all of that, I always knew that we needed to interact with our real environment utilizing these tools. So seeing where it is now is super interesting, and seeing where it's going and being part of that whole revolution. And I think sports is going to be the thing that revolutionizes these industries, along with some commercial use cases, of course, but this is individualized for each individual person to optimize individuals for fitness tech, health tech, sports tech, you know. So getting back to the fan engagement standpoint, so you're watching this in real time, your favorite player, and then you're able to even, let's just say you're a Patrick Mahomes fan, you can actually go into the play and try to mimic exactly what he's doing, and or what would you do in the play, right? So I think it's so many things that can be done when you think about the digital twins fan engagement experience. Also, just imagine you want to potentially become a season ticket holder. You don't know what all comes with that. Now you're virtually able to see exactly what that seat looks like from that perspective, what packages you will have for each individual element of that game or of that season. You have all these virtual tours that you could be taking on to see kind of what your experience is going to be. I think that will be huge for fan engagement. Then also just from the at-home experience. So now from an at-home perspective, just imagine if you have a specific type of hologram or whatever it is, you know, AR, you can feel fully immersed as if you're at the game, in the game, and you're sitting at home. And it doesn't necessarily need to be VR or virtual reality, right? So these are just some of the things that I think from a fan engagement perspective, along with interacting with real-time stats. Now you can see what the stats are and bet in real time as well on things that we thought traditionally you couldn't bet on. So the digital twin will help with all of this. And then last but not least, the athletes. As a former professional athlete myself, I understand how individuals have nagging injuries or somewhat have a issue with understanding how they get hurt. By the way, we actually have a partnership announcement coming up soon. I'll let you know more about, but basically this company can give individuals 18 or 19 biomechanic indicators to determine if you're going to be an elite athlete, or if you're moving the right way, basically, right? And that's how you become an elite athlete. If you're moving the right way, if you're using the right techniques, if you are self-actualizing, reaching your full potential in regards to what you're doing, because you understand movement. That is huge. So I'm gonna take my time on this because it comes from a deep passion of mine. But from an injury prevention and prediction standpoint, I think digital twins are going to be a game changer. Now you can tell, hit a spider web. Now you can tell exactly what it is that you're doing or doing too much of, or you need to do more of. And just imagine you can see what parts of your body are taking the most abuse, or you can see which part of your bodies are weakest, so you can work on strengthening those elements. So a lot of times you can't even see, even a coach cannot tell exactly how your body is recovering as well. So now from a recovery standpoint, you'll know whether or not what you're doing is helping you recover, and then being able to measure it, right? So all these digital twins can do is 3D map your body. So you can actually see whether it be utilizing other sensors as well, and then IoT, right? So IoT AI will actually be able to move things into your environment to kind of determine how your body reacts, how your skill set is, how good is your skill set, and then how quickly you are responding. So all of these things will be able to be measured. And from a performance standpoint, this is huge for us, because now, especially when you think about player performance statistics, we're able to utilize some of the systems that we've created to enable these players to take their game to another level, to also to help with fitness tech and health tech. So now I hope that people see why I've been so excited about this, development for quite a while. And I've seen it far beyond what people think in regards to just, oh yeah, this is another cool thing. No, I think it's actually going to be revolutionary to the human race as a whole, to be able to develop systems to monitor, give real-time feedback on things that may save lives. So, and I say that to say that we're always learning the human body for each individual use case, and now it can be individualized. And I think that is huge for us to evolve as a species. We've developed a bunch for health, but there's still issues and there's still things that we haven't really figured out. And I think digital twins can really help with that. And now we're kind of going beyond sports technology. But yeah, just imagine all of the use cases. Now, in training, training is going to take initial hit, I think, in my perspective, because of the digital twin technology and AI and then IoT. But we're gonna eventually go back to having individuals who are more empathetic to train you. But I think for a certain amount of time, people with at least the less fortunate, will probably use some of these AI tools and or humanoid robotics type of situations, to where, depending on the cost, to where they can have someone train them at a fraction of the cost to some of these higher end type of trainers. But I think it'll also enable them to spend more time with more people. So it just depends on how you look at it, right? So now, with all the virtual tools, including the digital twins, now a trainer might be able to be with you without even being in your real environment. So, but again, that will be catered to each individual person, but they could also be anywhere at any time, which could be helpful, because they could watch you, they could watch your digital twin, they could see what you need to work on virtually. They could watch your film as well. So coupled with the film and everything, all be right there. So we're in a very unique space, and we're going down this. It seems like this is futuristic, but this is moving faster than we could anticipate. AI has changed things with it going from commercial use, because it's been around for a long time, but it was in commercial use. Same thing with the digital twin technology, AR, VR, XR, mostly commercial, and then mostly people who can really afford that level of technology. And now with the use of GPTs and LLMs, now the masses have adapted or have started to use AI. So now the systems that we've had in the past are being revamped daily, if not hourly, to where people are changing how they operate on a day-to-day perspective in multiple things, in multiple areas. And I think that there shouldn't be any distraction from understanding and knowing that the more information we get on ourselves and on our bodies and on our mental capacity and on our skill set, we can utilize this digital twin technology to really enhance who we are and where we're going. So I'm super excited about consistently talking about these type of topics. I really enjoy it, as you can see. And I think that, like, this HikingIQ thing, hiking intelligence, is my new pastime, because, like, I saw Sydney McLaughlin juggling and answering questions, and I saw how difficult that was, and it kind of made me think, like, hey, what if I have to talk about a specific topic that isn't necessarily easy to conceptualize or break it down in a way that everyone can understand, and I'm doing something else, right? Maybe I learn how to juggle one day and I could try to test that as well. But no, I think that this is something that we can take to the next level as a group. But I think it's going to take everyone. I think it's going to take everyone really being open-minded, especially trainers, agents, coaches, teams, leagues, and the way that you utilize this technology and embrace it, because it's going to help from an injury prevention perspective, or from a rehabilitation perspective as well, to where you're figuring out the best way to rehabilitate your Achilles injury or whatever it is. And maybe there's a setback, and now the digital twin sees another alternative to help them, increase their mobility and flexibility and strength. So all of these things can be utilized if we have an open mind, if we move in a way, especially athletes, right? Because we have to be the ones that feel comfortable with it. So I want to make sure that I advocate for it, and that if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. Much love, peace out, and continue to enjoy the journey. Take care.